Good evening, everyone. Greetings and love. This is Marcia with Gnoshery Libertas, and you are joining us for Sanctuary episode 51 on January 16th, 2023. Every Monday evening, we gather together on this live call. And for those of you listening in the replay beyond, to join our hearts, to join our minds, and to create a collective alchemy to actually offer ourselves space throughout the week in order to help us navigate our peaks and valleys of our lives, these challenges, the triumphs that come up, and to help us see it through a higher perspective or more expanded perspective or a deeper perspective, however you want to term, when we tune into spirit with a capital S. And this could be Holy Spirit, Great Spirit, the Nameless, whatever you want to call the part of Source God that can both move through us, but also see that eagle eye perspective, that wider perspective that's not just right in front of our personality linear face, and kind of offer us that spaciousness and that grace so that we can begin to live our lives from a more responsive rather than reacting from a triggered or traumatized place. And if we are acting from those places, then having Spirit's guidance of how to kind of realign ourselves, how to course correct, and also to be gentle with ourselves and forgive ourselves during the process. So every week, Spirit offers me something called a light transmission, where I go into meditation and Spirit kind of offers me what Spirit feels are the energies of the week for us to focus on within our linear reality. And by focusing on these energies, hopefully we are uplifting ourselves enough to not only see the weave, but to kind of live as the weave and be the eyes and ears, so to speak, of that grace that Spirit offers. And so if you ever would like to join us on a Monday evening, we'd love to have you as a live guest for our transmission and our after party, which happens after the recorded call. And you can join either one of our communities to connect into these private groups, as well as our discounts on one-to-one readings and mentorships. And these happen through patreon.com/Gnoshery Cafe, /Gnoshery Libertas, or on buymeacoffee.com/Gnoshery Cafe. Or you can schedule readings and mentorships through Etsy now at etsy.com/shop/Gnoshery Libertas. Before I move into tonight's transmission, I'm going to take a moment for us all to connect again, and then we will bring through the light transmission of Coming to Life. The past several calls have been very heavy with energy, and Spirit has kind of highlighted a lot of the shadow of what is going on the planet. And Spirit never likes to refer to energies as good or bad, so much so as light or heavy. And so we've been moving through these heavy energies, especially in December, really since Thanksgiving. And it's been a little bit of a trudge. And a lot of our transmissions over the last 4 to 5 calls have been centered around this trudge, and they've been a lot longer in length. They've like I said, dealt with a lot of the shadow energy, and this transmission was very different. It was incredibly buoyant, it was much shorter, and it was all about this flight plan, as Spirit calls it, from January to April, that we are in a new cycle of coming to life. In fact, some of the supporting energies of this transmission were the angel of new life, so that each of us has this angel of new life that is guarding us and guiding us right now into this next cycle and into this next chapter that the soul has never gotten to experience individually or collectively. And Spirit also wants us to know during this transmission tonight that we may have gotten off to a rocky start. And some of us might chuckle like, does a decade count as a rocky start? And Spirit is encouraging, if those plans of merging the soulful, the spiritual, and the physical have not yet happened, keep going. We're going to receive a lot of information tonight around why we are meant to move through any rocky starts. And the final supporting energy of this earth pulsing. And we talk often of, walking barefoot or, putting our hands on trees and really truly connecting with the nature around us. And we're going to need this earth pulsing from Spirit's perspective because we are bringing new creative endeavors to life. And so this transmission is all about new life. We are focusing on what is light, what is fluid, what is flowing, what is grace. And this is not going to be so much about those darker, heavier energies that we have been transmuting over the last few weeks. And so the very first energy of the evening is this angel of new life. And Spirit wants us to know that an exciting new chapter in our lives is about to unfold. Over the coming days and weeks, we will feel a sense of renewed clarity, purpose, and new direction. This is a magical and exciting time, and things begin to happen synchronistically as we are intuitively guided to explore these new avenues and possibilities. And they may come completely out of left field. They may be something totally unexpected that was not even on our radar or on our map. And the lyrics here were, "This year's loving, it'll last." And so Spirit reminding us that what we are creating in this new life will last. So once again, this year's loving, it'll last. And we're reminded, oh, I'm going to mute out. I think we've got something going on here. One sec. Okay, just trying to make sure I keep my concentration. So this next part of this process of January to April, where we're uncovering aspects of ourselves that we did not know we had. And I'm reminded of the phrase that we heard last week of take a good run up and leap. And so this time of January to April being this good run up that Spirit was alluding to on last week's call. We're encouraged to embrace this new and exciting period of our lives and to know that the past is now behind us. So if we have felt like we've been carrying things for a very long time, as we move through this next turnstile, we may just suddenly feel lighter and freer, and we can just accept that this past is now behind us without, moving into worry or doubt or fear as to, how did this just, disapparate from my life? Instead, to embrace this new and exciting period, that our life is forever changing and we are forever evolving to greater spheres of light and love through this wondrous spirit of creation. Once again, encouraged to enjoy the journey and all of the blessings which are coming our way. Before I move into the next supporting energy, I will open up the floor. Spirit speaks to this rocky start and this energy of keep going. And this implementation of our brilliant new ideas may have gotten off to a rocky start. So once again, this encouragement, please keep going, that any challenges are there to help us refine our plan and reshape our intentions into something even better than we dreamed of. This will require determination and the patience needed to succeed. So this is not necessarily immediate gratification. This is really putting your nose to the grindstone and working toward a dream that we really desire on that level of heart. This energy also speaks to seeing both sides or all sides of an issue. So being able to hold multiple perspectives at one time without necessarily succumbing to cognitive dissonance while we are doing so. That this is us walking this middle path and staying out of polarity, because as always, this matrix desires nothing more than to swing us into one polarity or another. Just by choosing to be this quote radical middle, we are able to actually anchor on this planet that divine grace that Spirit speaks of. So we're encouraged to stay focused on this intention or on this dream. Don't give up on it. In fact, dreams that were on the shelf that we may have felt have died, Spirit said that they were just simply dormant, and it is time that they come back out into the light. Once again, though this frequency can indicate a rocky beginning, it does not mean that we should give up. In fact, the challenges we are experiencing are only helping refine our plans and reshape our goals into something better. Keep going after our dreams and know that it is going to work out. This is called growing in difficult places. Yes, Mimi says, dream the impossible dream. Absolutely. We are growing in difficult places and we are stretching until what we need is within our grasp. This is the determination to continue on our path, regardless of the challenges that present themselves. And it indicates that a terrific new idea or suddenly seeing the truth of a situation or the need to resolve communication problems in our lives, all of these things may happen before we can progress any further with this dream. As well, we're encouraged to remove ourselves from any chaotic or disruptive energy and to find our place of peace. And if we're experiencing bumps in the road, as Spirit has mentioned, to find a quiet space to think and to get grounded, that staying grounded is of utmost importance within this energy. And finally, that meditation and prayer through these forms of listening and receiving and speaking to the divine, we will receive the information that we need to move forward. Before I move into earth pulsing, I'll open the floor one more time. This frequency speaks to the pulse of the Divine Mother, of slowing down, spending time in nature, this mysterious pulse which is woven through all of life. And this mysterious pulse is what Spirit has been training me on since probably my whole life, but very consciously since 2005, where I have been meant to tune into this pulse at all times. And through tuning into this pulse, that is how I do individual readings. It's how I do these collective readings, because I'm simply opening myself up and asking the pulse itself to tell me what it wishes for me to know. So as we connect barefoot to the earth, as we connect our hands to the trees, simply breathing in the fresh air that Mother Earth provides us, we are beginning to tap into this mysterious pulse, this rhythm which we can see within the seasons and the tides. And in our world of artificial lighting and long working hours, modern conveniences, it's very easy for us to feel stuck and off kilter and misaligned. And so Spirit reminds us it is time to reconnect with nature and to surrender to this pulse of the earth. That many of us are disconnected from the land beneath us, that somewhere along the way a severing happened, a moment when it became simply too painful to stay connected. And Spirit says that this leads to feeling unsupported and feeling like we don't totally belong. And we begin to look to other people or the external world to fill this void of connection and this belonging that was once given to us by the earth. And this leads to these shadow behaviors of taking and clutching and conquering and, having dominion over something or someone as we long for others to receive us fully as the mother once did. Forgetting, Spirit says that she is still here, waiting for us to remember her and to activate that part of us that longs to receive her embrace. And we do so by remembering that mysterious pulse that is woven within all things. When we live in symbiosis with her, we are deeply connected to all of life. And here, Spirit brought forth the movie Avatar, where in those particular films, it shows how that particular species is able to connect with everything around it. And in doing so, exchange energy and also receive energy. And so we're encouraged to pay attention to where the powers that were wish to harness this organic ascension timeline of symbiotic earth connection and instead distort it into a religion of climate, funneling us into a tightly controlled social matrix and beyond, Spirit says. And so this organic ascension timeline of us living in symbiosis with the earth, deeply connected to her and all of life, is being kind of harnessed and really funneled and distorted into what Spirit calls a religion of climate. And so once again, we are told to pay attention to anything that springs up out of nowhere and is seemingly everywhere simultaneously and is very often virtue signaling us to participate in it. And it comes from that place where it feels like you are signing up for a religion or a fraternity or a sorority or a secret society of some kind. And when we have that feeling, we are encouraged very much to pay attention to it because it comes from the powers that were and their ability or their desire, I should say, to harness this organic ascension timeline. However, When we consciously connect with the earth, our veils are lifted, and she opens us up to help us receive what the Divine Father is bringing in more fully. We are connected as a conduit of grace, as above, so below, fully grounded and rooted in the Mother, and fully expanded and inspired by the Divine Father. And we are now able to drink from the sweet waters of the Mother and release what is no longer serving us. Spirit says stagnant energy now falls away as we become connected to all things on this planet. Something that I know I have been waiting for a very long time. I'm going to open the floor again before we move on to the next energy. Once again, we are reminded that new inspiration is coming, that this heralds a time of great creativity for us. And if we've been thinking about a new creative project, Spirit wants us to know now is the time to get things going, to plant the seeds. And if we're already working on such a project, then this is now asking us to shift it into high gear. The activities involved in this pursuit may be something personal, like taking up painting or learning how to play a new instrument, or we may decide to explore a course or learn something new. As well, professional opportunities are indicated here. And specifically, Spirit said great potential involving art or art studios, bakeries, writing, publishing, theater, gardening, musical performance, and composition. So if any of these or other creative activities are calling to our hearts, now is the time to take action on such things. We're encouraged to set aside any doubts, to share our talents with the world. And once again, Spirit always reminds us that it is self-centered, in fact, to dim and hide our light, because our talents were not given to us for us. They were given to us for us to share with the world, with those around us. So once again, setting aside any doubts or fears that we're not good enough, because we were specifically designed good enough and to bring forth these talents and gifts into the world. So this energy from Spirit is singing our praises, and so should we. The lyrics to end this part of the meditation: seek to reach the heights of the alpine, seize the golden light as the sun shines. Realize that time is a precious gift, so make these moments last. Before I move into the final supporting energy, I will open the floor one last time. This transmission is all about coming to life. And Spirit says when we look at our lives, we need to see how much we've grown and evolved over time, because it is mind blowing from Spirit's perspective. We have shed so many skins and identities and created new ones, or at the very least, matured in our ideas about ourselves and the world that we inhabit. We know things take time, and Spirit's timetable is rarely in sync with our linear mind. However, this energy indicates that a long held dream is now beginning to show signs of life. We must not try to coax it along or shape it into something according to our own desires. Spirit knows the best form for this manifestation, specifically around this dream, and our lives will become even better than we could possibly imagine. So, once again, we are encouraged to kind of let the arrow fly without trying to direct its course. Now is the time for gratitude, for reverence and awe. So, once again, we're being encouraged to really make these moments last, to feel the preciousness of life, and to allow the contours of our path to be carved by the hands of the divine. And finally, the last line of the reading: all we have to do is show up. So we do not have to be perfect. We do not have to have all the skills and know-how before we begin, especially, Spirit says if we've been encountering this rocky start. But we do have to try. We do have to show up. And so as this energy of coming to life springs forth from January to April, And we can trust that the angels of new life are surrounding us, guarding us, and guiding us. And to know that we have this inner will and this determination to move past any rocky starts, to kind of follow the ebbs and the flows, the peaks and the valleys, and to keep going, that we need this determination right now. And when we need assistance, to tap into that mysterious pulse that is woven into all things and is with us at all times, as this is going to give us that divine spark, that quantum charge, the divine mana that we need to move these creative endeavors from our mental or inspirational fields into this physical material reality. So these next 4 months are all about coming to life. And I'm sure the transmissions moving forward will all be about how to support us in doing so. I want to thank everybody for being here on the call before we transition into the after party, and to remind everyone that Spirit says once again, take a good run up and leap. I will see everyone again next Monday, and thank you all once again for being here. I appreciate you so much.